Today's video kicks off Project 7 WSM, a collaboration with Little Crow Gunworks. In this video, we're going to talk about why I chose this specific bullet, why I'm choosing this specific powder, and hopefully this is something that can help you if you're starting a new load for your rifle. First, I just want to show you the rifle. This rifle is an older model Savage 110, obviously chambered in 7 WSM. It does look like it has a AccuTrigger, and it's a pretty decent trigger from what I can tell so far that I've shot it. It does come with a 24-inch barrel, which is pretty standard for the WSM cartridges. The scope that is given to me is a Vortex Diamondback Tactical. Up to this point, this gun just shot pretty decently well. Everything I've tried has been sub-MOA with it. So I have a lot of hope for this new series and with this new bullet that we're going to find something that it will love. So I want to talk about the whole purpose of this project, other than to provide content on YouTube and maybe hopefully help you in your adventures to find good loads. Number one, I'm building this load specifically around my son, who is going to be of age to be able to go big game hunting this coming year. And I narrowed the rifles down between this 7WSM and a 270 Winchester. And the 270 Winchester is chambered in a very cheap Savage Axis. It shoots decently well, but it's not a fun gun to shoot. It's extremely light, and honestly, with the loads we're going to be creating in the 7WSM, I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's much easier and easier on the shoulder to shoot this 7WSM than that really light 270 Winchester. So I definitely think there's more accuracy potential with this specific 7WSM than that 270, and for my 12-year-old's sake, I think it's just going to be a more enjoyable experience for him. I want to talk about the process of picking a bullet for this big game hunting that's coming in about 9 months. With 7mm, I have abundance of options. Here are just some of the bullets that I just have handy. All of these would be adequate for big game hunting, but specifically what I was really looking for is something that's not going to pound my 12-year-old son, and something that is really going to be easier to load for. So some of my favorite bullets, as you guys know, are the AccuBonds. But the AccuBonds can be kind of a finicky bullet to load for. That is especially the case for the ABLR. Now the AccuBond's a little bit easier to load for, but the method that Little Crow Gunworks is having me do, AccuBonds are expensive, and I don't want to have to buy 2-3 boxes just to test to find that perfect load. It'd get really expensive for the AccuBond. So as much as I love this bullet, I decided not to use the 150 grain. Same goes the ABLR. I love the potential of the ABLR, and if you can get your gun to shoot it, I think it's one of the best bullets made. But I just have had real hit and miss experiences loading for the ABLR, and I really didn't want to have to buy 1 or 2 more boxes of ABLR. Okay. And then I do have some ELDX that I've been running through the gun to just the barrel seasoned. And look, it's not my preferred hunting bullet, but I'm not stupid. I know it can be very effective on deer and elk, which is what this gun's going to be for, deer and elk for my son. I decided to go on the lighter end. I've had a lot of luck loading copper bullets. I think they're a very accurate bullet, and when we're shooting a 140 grain, I definitely think it's going to have a lot less recoil than, say, like a 168 or 162 ELDX. The TTSX bullet is an all monolithic bullet, all copper, and like the ELDX or a Burger, it seems like mono bullets are very controversial. There's people that absolutely love them, then people that absolutely hate them. And you hear all sorts of stories about a mono bullet penciling through. What I'm looking for, again, is, velocities 3,000 to 3,200 feet per second within 400 yards. This bullet's going to open up. And with it being a dual purpose, I haven't really talked about that much, but it being dual purpose with deer and elk, I do think this is a good all-around bullet for the 7WSM. It's going to be very flat trajectory out to 400 yards. It's obviously going to have incredible penetration. And I do think the bullet will expand perfectly well at the velocities we'll be shooting it. Let's talk about the powder choices I wanted to go with. All three of these would be pretty decent depending on the bullet weight. If we're going to use N560 or H4831SC, I feel like I'd want to be using a 150 grain, ideally like a 160 grain to be using these powders. But they're all decent powders for 7WSM. But since we are shooting a lighter 140 grain TTSX, decided with the help of Tim from Little Crow Gunworks, he highly recommended N160. I've already done a test to see what kind of velocities we are getting and what pressure I was hitting. So let me show you what we got with N160. Okay, thanks. As far as seating depth, I'm not going to tell you how close we are to the lands, but I will say for a mono bullet, we are pretty darn close. So we're going to be right up there, pretty close to the lands. And if hopefully we don't have to do some seating depth work, but if so, it is what it is. Now, as far as velocity goes, as you saw, it went up to 3250, but that was over pressure. I think realistically, if we wanted to push this at max with N160, we're looking around 3200 feet per second. But again, since this is for my son, I'm not looking to hot rod this 7WSM. I would be completely satisfied as long as we are over 3000 feet per second with this 140 grain. Anywhere from 3000 to 3150. I think is going to be great, and I think we'll easily achieve that. I just wanted to show you the target I will be shooting at. This, I've already set it up, but definitely going to use cardboard just so the group holes are going to be very easy to see. What we're planning to do is the lowest load that I'm planning to do is going to start here, and then we go up to the highest charge. Okay. One thing that Little Crow Gunworks is making me do is do round robin shooting. So instead of doing consecutive 3-shot group for this charge, what I'm going to do is shoot one shot, let it cool for at least 2 minutes, then do the next shot for the next load, and then go all the way up and then start back over. That should be very interesting. And of course, I'm going to have to cut out like half a day to shoot these. Of course, I think the whole process with Little Crow Gunworks load development method is that you are not going to miss an accuracy node, because we are going to be going in 0.3 increments and with 15 groups. Yeah, we're both fairly confident that we're going to find something that this gun really likes. And of course, it's not just going to be a one and done thing. We're going to have to repeat it and then eventually take it out to range to make sure that it stays what it should be out at longer distances. We're really going to go in depth and find a load that this 7WSM really loves. Episode 2 of this series will be the report of how this rifle shot for the first time with these bullets in N160. I might show some video footage of the range. I don't know if you guys really want to see me shoot 15 groups. It just will be a long time of shooting. I hope you guys tune in for more of this, and I hope it's helpful for you.